The thunderous cries of the gods echoed through the land, shaking the very foundations of existence. Their anger and wrath brought destruction beyond what anyone could have imagined. Mountains were leveled, oceans drained dry, towns reduced to rubble and ashes, people turned to mist in an instant. Never before had such a great power been born out of a single roar. With each clash between the gods' immense strength, hope for rebuilding society grew smaller. Yet with new power came unimaginable violence and chaos. Monsters taking human form, men turning into slaves, those driven mad by their own suffering, and countless more that perished in agony. It was known only as the God's Shout, a time of fear and despair that would never be forgotten. Linus was determined to make something of himself during God's Shout, although no one expected him to take it this far. He weaved together creatures of varying shapes and sizes, giving each of them unique names and a specific purpose in his grand plan. Few knew what he was up to, but they were all afraid of the power that he seemed to wield. "What is this one's name and what's its mission?" they would ask, their trembling voices barely audible over the constant rumbling of the god's wrath. Linus, with an enigmatic smile dancing on his lips, would simply whisper the creature's name into the wind and watch as awe or fear danced in the eyes of the onlookers. He named one such beast Atlas, a gigantic creature with a physique that mirrored the strength of mountains. Its sole mission: to hold up the shattered pieces of the sky that threatened to rain down upon them. Next, he gave life to flitting Alus, a nimble creature given the daunting task of knitting back together the shredded fabrics of wind that once whispered tales of hope and triumph. Weave together your own creature and give them a mission. Give them a story. Build your scene around your creation. A stillness hangs in the air of the underworld, contrasting starkly against the raging war in the world above. Hades contemplates his domain, wondering what else can be done here to pass the time. He wonders if he can be content with this peaceful void, or if he should reach out and interfere in the affairs of mortals or meddle in the war of the gods. A hint of melancholy lingers in Hades's eyes as he gazes upon the serene landscape of the underworld. He pondered, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts and possibilities. Shadows danced around him, whispering tales of the chaos in the world above, tales that left him longing for something more than this tranquil eternity. And it was then when he decided. The Lord of the Underworld found himself unfulfilled by the monotony that surrounded him. He yearned not for peace and quiet, but for action, for a thrill that went beyond knowing the secrets of every departed soul, beyond ruling an empire of specters, beyond the prison his brother Zeus had confined him to. What has Hades decided to do? Rocky and Zelda gazed down from their elevated perch at the creature that had been looming over their city for days. Their hearts raced as they watched its every movement, but neither of them knew why it was there or what it wanted. Fear crept through each of them, yet they also felt a certain fascination with the exotic beast, which made them simultaneously excited and apprehensive. The beast, colossal in its stature and monstrous in its form, traced the maze of city streets with its luminous eyes. Its skin seemed to glow in the twilight, resplendent with the hues of dying flames, fading embers, and molten gold. It looked as though it was carved by the hands of gods, etched with power and vulnerability that teetered on a dangerous precipice. Rocky gripped Zelda's hand tightly, his knuckles turning white as he whispered, "We have to find answers." Zelda nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the otherworldly luminescence of the creature. Their fate was no longer just their own. It was one of Zeus's beasts, that much was clear. But what does it want? What is Zeus up to?